Hello and welcome to a classic review series episode of the Hot Dog Handshake podcast. I am Shane Price from Jayden and Shane.
What's up?
Tonight we are reviewing SummerSlam 1994.
Yeah, kind of a weird era for us. One we don't really go into a lot because I don't think either one of us really like this era very much.
Listen, apart from when Vince decided to get fuck you at the women's division, there's not a lot of
and we do
upside
have
here.
some of that on this card.
We do, yes.
Starting off the basic details here, this was August 24th, 1994, in front of 23,000 people in a pretty new United Center.
Actually, brand new.
Brand new United
This is the
Center.
first event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In Chicago, Illinois.
Weird. It's in the United States. They don't. At this time, they still were running Rosemont,
Yeah.
and they do it after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
they
weird.
probably would run like TV in Rosemont still at 94.
Well,
but
no, like even the reviews are in Rosemont. Like WrestleMania 22 is in Rosemont.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know if they just wanted the new building, christen the
It's
new
fair.
building.
Yeah, probably got a deal made.
Yeah, Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler on commentary. Very forgetful commentary on the show. I don't think I noticed commentary one time.
I didn't write down a single line other than doing a women's match.
Yeah, I just honestly I remembered Vince being on it, but until I looked at my notes again, forgot Lawler was his color guy. It could have been literally anybody. Runtime was 2 hours 49 minutes. Why are we reviewing this show?
Because Owen Hart and Bret Hart had the best match of the night on here by far.
It's
Silk Cup Owen Hart Cup.
Yeah, the Owen Hart Cup finishing up after. So the Owen Hart Cup finals would have happened before this releases, but they haven't happened yet as we're recording. So Shane, you want to give a snap congratulations to who you think is going to win? See if you're right.
Congratulations to Jamie Hayter and Hangman Adam Page.
All right, congratulations, guys, on your wins. So yeah, we're just doing this for Owen Hart. This is probably considered Owen's second best match ever. The other one being WrestleMania 10.
Yeah.
But we did a bunch of WrestleManias pretty recently, so I wanted to kind of still wait off on doing another Mania.
Yeah.
So I went with the SummerSlam 94 here. Do you want to get into the matches?
We shall. We are going to start with, of course, the first one. Although, was there a Leslie Nielsen bit before this one? Or
No, that's after the first match.
Okay.
It just goes right into the first match.
So the first match of the night, it's a weird one. My notes up. Can you say it for me?
Oh, the Head Shrinkers versus the $1 Million Corporation's Bam Bam Bigelow and Erwin R. Shyster.
As I said, a weird one.
Weird one. Lou Albano's out there with the Head Shrinkers. He lost a lot of weight.
He did.
Technically, the last one of these we recorded was that Saturday night's main event that we lost, unfortunately. Shit happens. It's whatever. But he was, like, really big in that show we just watched. And that's from 85, right?
Yeah.
So this is about 10 years later. He lost a lot of weight. He was slimmed down quite a bit. Whatever match with a DQ finish was my note.
The Minute Corporation wins.
I gave it 2 1/4.
I gave it 2. It was whatever.
Any other company on Earth, 3.5.
Yes,
they would have been given more range.
I feel like
it wouldn't have been a DQ finish.
I feel like this is not
WCW at this moment. This would have been easily a 3.5.
I feel like we say that every show in WWE.
Yeah, especially like where in WCW was in '94. This probably would have been the best match on the card.
Oh yeah,
on a WCW show at the same time. You know what I mean? And then we get into the first fun segment here.
Leslie Nielsen, who is kind of playing Frank Drebin but not really playing Frank Drebin, is on the trail of Undertaker, and they do a very Naked Gun skit where he follows Undertaker, he finds him, air quotes. It's the police commissioner from Naked Gun, and they're on the case. They look down, they're actually on a briefcase, which was pretty good to me.
What are your thoughts on Naked Gun?
I love him. All 3.
Really? Okay, so I've only seen the first one, and I didn't love it.
That's crazy.
Here's the thing, though. I love Airplane. Naked Gun just didn't click with me.
Try the second and the third.
Okay.
They're a little, the first one, is good. The first one's a little, yeah. The second and third one are more funny to me.
But
it sucks that OJ is the funniest part of the first one to me.
Oh, yeah. OJ is really funny in that one. OJ is really funny, but he's only in, like, 5 minutes of the movie. You know what I mean? He's not in very much.
He's still the best part.
Yeah. But like I said, I like Leslie Nielsen. I love Airplane. That's a great comedy. Airplane's really funny. This is another one of those fun hot dog and a handshake moments where we accidentally picked something. I had no idea this was on this show.
I didn't either.
And later this year, in like 3 months, the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson, directed by Akiva Schaffer from Lonely Island.
And the police commissioner, current Progress champion, Holger Hauser.
Yes. And so that's coming out in like 3 months. So it's just kind of a fun
I
little.
will be there.
Like, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to check that one out. I mean, I'm down for anything Akiva Schaffer directs. I mean, Popstar, Hot Rod, the Chippendales movie from a couple years ago. The Chippendale Rescue Ranger movie. Yeah. So.
But also, it's like Liam Neeson becoming the new Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, I love that. And then I love the trailer spot with the guy who's OJ's son.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anyway, we can get back to wrestling now. Back out of back out of Hollywood here.
Sadly, I don't know how the back would brawl this episode. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I missed that one. So the next match is another match that would have been at least a 4 if it was anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Bull Nakano with Luna Vachon takes on Alundra Blaze for the WWF Women's Championship.
Yes. You said this would be at least a 4. I still gave this 3 3/4. This
Oh,
was a pretty sweet match.
I did too, but that's why I said it'd at least be a 4.
This was a pretty great match.
It was. It was a little short for my liking. I would like to see it a bit longer.
It would have been a little bit longer. Yeah. That was kind of my main complaint too. But yeah, really weird to see these two in like a WWE setting. You know.
Yeah, especially when you think about it, because Nakano is a former women's champion for WWE.
Mm-hmm.
She won it. She won it in January at the 12-hour, way too goddamn long wrestling show that we will probably eventually get to at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because like really pre like 98 when they bring the women's title back, you just kind of forget about that era of WWE women's wrestling because they kind of forget it. They don't really ever bring it up.
They don't bring, and I think the why I don't bring it up is because of who it was in 94, 95, because it wasn't. Like they bring up the 80s of like Cyndi Lauper and like Famous Moolah.
Yeah, they'll bring up Moolah. They'll bring up Mae Young,
Wendy Richter.
Wendy Richter. Yeah,
but the mid 90s, it was just all Japan women's.
Yeah, it was Alundra Blaze. It was Bull Nakano.
Aja Kong
shows up.
Kyoko Inoue is on Survivor Series, I think.
Yeah,
No, I think both of them are on Survivor Series. I think.
Oh, I think we're gonna do Survivor Series 94 later this year.
We're doing the one that has the women's match.
Here, let me look at our schedule.
The fucked up women's match that is just an
I may have
women's.
actually accidentally set up a little 2-parter here where we'll later do Survivor Series from the. Oh no, we're doing Survivor Series 95. That's the one that has a bunch of All Japan women on it. So, yeah, but this match was pretty great. I mean, not a lot much to say about it. It's definitely one of the matches you should most check out from this show.
Yeah.
On to the next match, the IC title, I believe.
Razor Ramon taking on Diesel. Diesel is Shawn Michaels, and
who had just won the tag titles on a house show.
Yeah,
the night before.
They used to when they
from the Head Shrinkers
used to do title runs on the house shows.
Can you imagine if that happened today in WWE? That'd be insane.
So Samoa Joe won it house show. That was crazy.
He won
the NXT title.
The NXT title on the house show.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Could you imagine if they ran a Bob Backlund Diesel type match at a house show where he did a WWF title change his hands today at a house show?
Oh yeah, I mean, not even. It would be crazy if the like fucking women's U.S. title changed hands at a house show, let alone the world title. I mean, not to diminish the women's U.S. title, but I'm just saying like a lower card title, like if. Tomorrow we just like, you know, if Wednesday night there's a house show in like Dayton, Ohio, and Zelina Vega just drops the women's U.S. title
to Jerry Lynn,
obviously. No, but she just like drops the women's U.S. title like back to Chelsea Green on a house show or something. I'd be like, what the hell just happened? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? It'd be super surprising. It's not that it wouldn't be cool.
It would be cool.
It would be cool.
It'd be shocking.
It'd be insanely surprising.
Yeah.
With this, yeah. But into Diesel Razor. Is Walter Payton too involved with the show to put him in the Athlete Club? Like, we need to draw a line. If you're part of the show, can you still be in the Athlete Club? Because the current Athlete Club members are people who showed up in commercials on the one-off shows where we have commercials. that we see, and then people who were in the crowd.
Yeah. I will say he is wearing a shirt I'm fairly certain MLJ owns.
Cool.
But that's a good point. He is an athlete.
But he's the manager of Razor.
He's just a manager for one night, though.
Mm-hmm. I kind of think that if you're within the barricade, I don't think it should count.
Yeah, because we did estimate 13 to be way too many people in it. No, 12.
Or like 11. We don't count Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, you're right. So I don't think Walter's going to be in it.
Okay, so Walter not in the Athlete Club. I love Razor's gear.
Oh, yeah.
It was like this like TV static background with like those silver razors, and the razors had like a neon blue outline. It looked really cool. I really liked Razor's gear here. And then obviously just great chemistry between Diesel and Razor. Of course, it's obvious why they would make such a good tag team in WCW, why the NWO worked so well was kind of on the back of these two's relationship and their chemistry. So, of course, they're great as opponents.
Yeah,
right?
duh.
What do you think of the match?
I thought it was a pretty good match. All things considered, I think it was, again, a victim of not going long enough. I gave it 3.
Okay, I thought it was actually pretty incredible wrestling, especially for these two guys. And my typical opinions of their matches, I really was impressed by them. Way too much bullshit. I went 3.5, just a smidge under the Alundra Blaze Bull Nakano match for me. But yeah, I really like this match. I was not expecting to like a Diesel Razor match this much. On to the next match here.
We have Tatanka and Lex Luger in a singles match.
Yeah, this wasn't good. It wasn't that terrible. The storyline here was that people thought Lex Luger may have sold out to the $1 Million Man.
Thought that he was going to sell out to the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, and then
only
for Tatanka to sell out. Right. So
when did Vince Russo start working for the WWE? We're going to find out when exactly that he started working at WWE, because this is a very Russo type swerve.
Not 94, right? He was later, right? When did Vince Russo start working for WWE?
I want to say it was around this time.
Let's see. This is the segment where we Google
92.
Something. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, he was there a lot longer than I thought. I would have guessed 96 was when he started.
He was promoted to the creative team in 96, but he was with the company in 94.
Okay. So you may have pitched this idea, bro?
Bro, I think he might
No,
have.
bro. Lex Luger.
Big Venom, bro.
Nah, bro. Lex Luger not going to join $1 Million Man, bro. Tatanka, bro.
The Native American, bro.
Hey, bro. Tatanka's the future, bro. This, I gave us 2 stars. It was not good, but it wasn't offensive.
I gave it 1 3/4. I was like, right near you.
Yeah. Next match, though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, next match, not, JEFF, haha, JARRETT takes on Mabel.
Future King of the Ring at the time, Mabel.
Future King of the Ring, future member of the Ministry, future Big Daddy Voodoo, future
Viscera,
future Big Daddy V, future World of the Slot Machine,
future, what would be the word here? Future suitor of Shelton Benjamin's mother.
Future All Japan Tag Team Champion.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck, dude.
Yes.
All right.
With Taru and the Voodoo Murderers.
Okay. Here's the thing. We make fun of Mabel being King of the Ring the next year, right? Because Owen had just won the 94.
Yeah.
So the next year, 95, he was over, dude. Did you see his entrance? All the fans waving their arms.
They loved him on the mission.
They loved him on the mission.
They sucked.
But they sucked ass, dude. This match, these two I was just talking a little bit ago about how Scott Hall and Kevin Nash's chemistry. These two had zero, negative even chemistry. There were timing issues all over the place in this match.
If this was the only Jeff Jarrett match you watched, if I told you he was a multi-time world title champion, would you believe me?
I would guess that he booked the company where he became a multi-time world champion.
Which is true. Which is true. But he was also the world champion in WCW.
He was world champion in WCW.
If I told you that, would you believe me?
I'd be like, wow, WCW must really go downhill. Which is also true.
Around the time he was world champion.
Yeah. No, this was bad. I gave this 1 star. It's a generous one.
I gave it a half.
1 star, and like that whole star is for Jeff.
That's fair. That's fair.
Next up, though, now we get into the.
Well, you needed a match to cool down the crowd, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like
Wait, was the second? I think the second Frank Drebin segment was after this match, right?
Yes,
maybe I don't know. We can talk about it here.
It's.
They end up in the bowl of the arena.
Where are my super sleuths, Vince McMahon? Ah, rah.
Yeah.
Oh, where they are.
Yeah, and then they put the spotlight on them just out of the intro, like just beyond the curtain, basically. And there's like an Undertaker figure behind them, right?
Yeah.
And
it
then
disappears.
Yeah.
And they just walk to the back.
And I don't even remember what the payoff was.
At this point in time, they didn't really show the angles backstage on the screens. If you're on the floor, there's no screen for you to even look at.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck is the point of this one?
I have no idea. You want to just get on to the next match?
Yeah, we might as well. I guess it was time to set up the cage. That's what it was.
Okay. It was time to start the cage setup, and then they also had a pretty long video package to set up the cage. And then they also interviewed the Hart family, including Bruce and Martha Hart. No,
not Martha.
Martha Hart's Owen's wife. What's the mom's name?
Stu and some. I don't know. I don't remember.
I'll look it up. But then Bruce Hart was there. Keith Hart, who's I found out about because of this show, who is another brother of them. He was there. Jim the Anvil was in the crowd. Davey Boy Smith was in the crowd.
With crazy hair.
Crazy long hair for Davey Boy.
They showed Jim a lot during this match. I think every match should have a Jim licking his lips camera shot.
Is Helen Hart? Is that the mom?
That sounds right. But
Yes. Yes, that is Helen Hart, sometimes known as the Hart. The dynasty. Oh no, it just takes me to the Hart wrestling family. Yeah, I believe Helen is the mom, and then Martha Hart is Owen's wife. That helps AEW run the tournament now.
Time out really fast. We just won flag football at 2028.
What?
The U.S. just won flag football at 2028 Olympics.
Oh yeah, I saw that. NFL players can play in the flag football. I saw that.
Resume. Yeah, I mean.
How is the Piper family connected members of the Hart family?
I think marriage. I think Teal might be married into the Hart family.
She's the daughter of professional wrestler Roddy Piper. Acting career. She was in an episode of CSI in New York.
It's not her. It is.
Personal life.
I don't.
No, it's not from her.
I don't know. Oh, wait. Cousin of Bret Hart. Second cousins.
They're second cousins.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's weird. I knew Piper was Canadian. I didn't know they had any connection. Are all Canadians related?
You would think so.
Yeah. All right, on to so Bret and Owen. They get the cage set up. We have the interviews, whatever. On to the actual match.
What a fucking match, dude. What a fucking match.
Incredible. The drama built around leaving the cage, just all the ways they pull each other back.
Did you see Owens leap to get outside? To get outside the cage. That ruled.
Yeah, dude. Owen was an athlete, man. They were just so good together, dude. God. Sucks. It sucks so much that Owen passed so early, dude. Like, it is just.
Could you imagine if Owen jumped WCW too?
Oh, dude.
Could you imagine Bret Owen in WCW?
Dude. Hart brothers versus the Steiner brothers.
Oh my God!
Hart brothers
awesome.
versus Harlem Heat.
Even better.
Dude, Owen in the cruiser division. Drop some pounds, maybe.
Owen versus Ray.
Dude, Owen versus Ray. Owen versus Ultimo. Owen versus Eddie. Like, dude,
that would have been so
Owen
ruled.
Owen versus Jericho.
There is a
in like '98.
There's a TW database that is in alternate reality where he survived.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. I think you'd like it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those matches that's so good we can't even really describe it.
Yeah, there's
Like,
no
it was
point to it. Everything that we say has been said.
Yeah, it's just very, very good. I give it 4.5 stars.
4 3/4.
Incredible match. Incredible match. Definitely a good reason to go back to 94 was for this. And then the main event. Somehow the main event not Bret Owen.
No, it wasn't. I went into this match kind of trying to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of surprised.
Okay. Undertaker versus Underfaker.
Versus Chains.
Which is, Brian Lee, also known as Chains, was the fake Undertaker. Wasn't Doc Gallows fake Kane one time?
Yeah.
Okay. So they ran this back with Kane later on. But when he was fake Kane, he was playing 97 Kane versus, like, unmasked, whatever year that was, 08 or 09 or whatever Kane.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never been a big fan of Undertaker, especially New Generation era Undertaker. So him facing himself doesn't do anything for me, excitement-wise. And then it just kind of played out how I thought it would, and it was kind of whatever, and I gave it 2.5. You said this surprised you, though. Did you like this?
I actually kind of liked it.
Okay.
I mean, I've always been a sucker for Undertaker. My first favorite wrestler was Undertaker. So, politics aside, I like him. He's a good wrestler. Chains, however, I was more surprised by Chains than anything.
Okay.
I actually it was like, hey.
I thought it was really funny that they, like, markered on Undertaker's tattoos.
I know.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
That was a good. I thought that was funny.
There's actually a backstage picture of Mr. Mark Calloway doing the face paint on Fake Taker. Which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought Chains was gonna suck. Like I used to sing Chains.
Yeah.
Didn't suck. I gave this 2.5.
Okay. Yeah, I also gave it 2.5, but it's kind of what I expected.
I thought it would suck. I thought it was gonna suck. So I was mildly surprised.
Mm-hmm. On to the categories. Best moment for you.
Oh, we forgot to talk about how the show ends.
Okay, yeah, go on. Show ends.
With Frank Drebin and Mr. Leslie Nielsen and the police commissioner solving the case by finding a briefcase that was closed. The case was closed.
Of course it was.
And that's how the show goes off the air.
Yep. That is, yeah.
So categories, best moment. I want to say Owen Hart's leap to me.
Owen Hart leaping for the cage.
That's what stands out.
I'm going to go with the finish of that match when Owen's foot gets caught in the cage and Bret beats him to the floor. I'm going to go with that one. I like that a lot. MVP of the night. Who you got for that?
Owen.
I think it's Owen.
It's Owen.
I think it's Owen. He lost, but I think it's Owen. I think it was great.
Yeah, it's Owen.
Heat check. Leslie Nielsen.
I got 2 for you. Leslie Nielsen and Bull Nakano.
Okay, I feel like the Bull Alundra match probably. I don't know how long it went,
8
but
minutes.
Yeah, feels like too long. But I'll give it to you. I'm gonna go Leslie Nielsen for heat check.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen.
All right, new category alert. Gear of the night. I thought Bret's gear was awesome. I think the pink and black always works.
I always like Bull's gear.
Bull Nakano's gear is a good one. I'm going to go with Razor. He's the reason I thought of this award.
I'm going to agree.
So I'm going to go Razor. I just liked how his gear looked.
I'm going to go
really
Walter Payton.
You go Walter Payton?
Yeah.
What was on his shirt?
It was Razor Ramon.
It was Razor Ramon? Okay. Yeah.
But he had it was like cut this at the neck so we could fit into it.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Apex Mountain. Is 94 the apex of Owen Hart? Like just the run of WrestleMania 10 wins King of the Ring,
I would say
SummerSlam
so.
94.
I would say so.
Yeah, so this is kind of the end of his Apex run. Like, yeah. All right, I like that. Apex Mountain for Brian Lee.
No, that's his ECW Smoky Mountain stuff.
Okay. I don't think anybody else is even close to their Apex
No.
Mountain on this show.
No. Leslie Nielsen in wrestling, though, yes.
Leslie Nielsen in wrestling, yeah. I think his Apex Mountain overall is probably, I mean, I've already talked about it. For me, it's Airplane.
It's Airplane.
I think that's his best.
I love Naked Gun movies, but it's Airplane. It's Airplane.
Let's see. What's next? Surprise of the show. Is it Brian Lee for you? Was that the most surprising?
You know what? Yeah, it's gonna be Chains.
I mean, the Naked Gun stuff was surprising.
It was.
I could probably give it to that. I mean, I guess for me it was kind of the whole Intercontinental title match. I just was not expecting to like Diesel versus Razor as much as I did. I think they did really well in that spot, and I just wasn't expecting that. Recasting. What are we recasting here?
There's two matches we could pick. We could pick Diesel and Razor, or we could do Owen Bret.
You don't want to recast Undertaker? Okay, it has to be somebody with an over-the-top gimmick.
Yeah, there's no really a thing anymore, though.
Uh-huh. And in a way that you could hide your face. I mean, they didn't really do a great job of hiding his face.
No.
You could tell immediately which one was the fake Taker,
Yeah.
right? So what if it's Orange Cassidy versus a fake Orange Cassidy?
Fire Ant versus fake Fire Ant.
You could do like a luchador situation.
New La Parka, LA Park.
Park, LA Park.
That's it.
Maybe a more mainstream idea. Do like.
La Parka's pretty mainstream.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think like WWE or AEW, like Penta versus
Fake Penta.
who is somebody from AAA that they just signed. So Vikingo is fake Penta. And Penta would be an easy one to do that with because he's got the mask and the face paint.
Yeah.
It'd be harder to tell apart the two Penta, except for like it'd be like Smash Bros, where like one of them's wearing blue and one of them's wearing green or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that. Actually, let's do Penta.
Penta versus Vikingo is fake Penta.
Yeah.
That match would actually also
That'd be awesome.
It would be 30 times the match that Taker versus fake Taker was.
At least.
Let's see. Best double feature. I think the two Bret Owen matches. Mania
Bret
10.
Owen, Alundra.
But so you got an AJW match for us?
Medusa versus Bull from Big Egg Universe.
Okay.
Medusa
Big Egg Universe, dude. What a name for a show.
Medusa versus Bull in general.
Mm-hmm.
If there are those names outside WCW, probably going to be better this one.
You could probably do Razor Diesel with Sean Diesel. Or no, Sean Razor, the ladder match.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
WrestleMania 10 is a great one to watch on this one, too.
Yeah, if they really did a good job this year of kind of making those shows that worked in conjunction with each other, while still advancing storylines to SummerSlam. You know
I
what I mean?
want to watch the Big Four this year.
From 94?
Let's see how it is.
94 Rumble, that's the Hart Luger tie Rumble.
So this year sounds great.
Yeah, that's actually.
What happened?
Is 94 kind of an underrated year? Is it just because it like falls in between like 92 and 93 sucked and then 95 and 96 sucked?
It must.
Except for is 95 the Rumble with AAA?
95's terrible.
Oh, dude, that's really, really funny though.
97 is the Rumble. AAA.
Oh, it's Rumble with AAA is 97. Okay.
I want to say is 10 Ryu in 95 Rumble?
Maybe. I don't know. Wrestling Criterion Collection. I don't think anything.
Do you want to put the Bret Owen feud though?
Bret Owen feud. I like that. We can put Bret and
10
Owen's
Ryu's in
feud.
the 94 Rumble, dude.
In the 94 Rumble?
Yeah, he's in the 94 Rumble.
That is awesome.
What the fuck?
Yeah, let me type in here. Bret versus. So this joins Dreamer versus Raven, Austin versus McMahon, and kind of Sting versus Hogan as feuds that are in our Criterion Collection. Yeah. Bret making the Criterion Collection again with his Bret Austin match from 13 in here. I won't go over everything that's in the Criterion Collection, but let me get back to my notes. All right, classic hot dog, classic handshake.
We can't pick Owen, can we?
Can't pick Owen and Bret. No.
Bulldog College.
Yeah, that's mine also. Razor and Diesel was a close second in this race for me. I guess third overall, but yeah.
To me, there was no
yeah,
choice.
Blaze and Bull.
No
It's absolutely that. What do you give this show out of 10?
I was actually quite surprised how much I liked the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 6.5.
6.5. It was pretty bad still overall for me, but it was kind of entertaining. I'm gonna go 4.5. So a 5.5 average.
I had a good time watching this show.
Not bad, not bad. Do you want to introduce our next?
I've been waiting for this one. We are going to quote unquote WCW, but it feels more like their conglomeration of CMLL and AAA guys they hired.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very interesting one. There's no commentary. I already checked. Festival de Lucha, a failed show that had one taping, and we're going to watch that taping.
Yes, it is on YouTube. Why are we doing it?
Because Worlds Collide, I think, is the same week it comes out, and also vaguely the same time as Grand Slam Mexico Triple Mania as well.
Yeah, so June kind of has this trifecta of Lucha stuff. Worlds Collide, NXT versus AAA, Grand Slam with AEW and CMLL working together, and then Triple Mania from AAA. So to honor the Lucha tradition and to watch some more of our favorite wrestlers, Super Kendo, checking out Festival de Lucha. That's the next one. That's from 1999, by the way. So if you're thinking like who's going to be in it, that's like Ray, Psychosis, Era,
La Parka, Blitzkrieg, Kazayashi's in there.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of that Hoovy probably is in there.
Oh, he's in there, yeah.
So that
also a pretty good list of luchadors from WCW.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun to check out. That's what we got. It is on YouTube if you want to watch it. So just go look up WCW Festival de Lucha. And I think that's it. You can take us out, Shan.
That's all we got for this week, and enjoy wrestling.